Okay, beautiful day. 77 degrees in late December. I'll take it. A lot of bikers out, a lot of boats out. Nice day for a ride. And today we're going to go to the Battle of Huck's Defeat. This was a Patriot victory. It's up near Rock Hill in Historic Brattonsville, South Carolina, just over the border from North Carolina. Gonna go a different way today, different route than I've been. Never been this way before, so if I get lost, you get lost too. And hopefully the GPS will guide us there and back. Alright, well, this is Highway 97, also known as Great Falls Highway. Okay, as I said, we're on State Route 97, also called Great Falls Highway, and we're heading to the little town of Chester. While we're on the way, I'll tell you a little bit about the Battle of Huck's Defeat. So Christian Huck was a British captain born in Germany and served with the British Army in the Revolution. He had a quick temper and a profound dislike for Presbyterians, which was most of the settlers in this area were Scotch-Irish Presbyterians. And do you think Bannister Tarleton was brutal and cruel? Huck made Tarleton look like a choir boy. He's alleged to have killed an unarmed boy who was reading the Bible and then burned the library of the preacher, who was a Presbyterian. And on June 11th, 1780, he destroyed the Fishing Creek Presbyterian Meeting House, which is a place where allegedly Patriots gathered often. And a week later, he burned down the Hills Iron Works, which is near Fort Mill, for the same reason. So despite his first name, he was not much of a Christian. So we're in Chester now, coming up to the bypass around the city, the town. Oh, I hear an ambulance coming out. So in July of 1780, Captain Christian Huck was assigned to track down Captain John McClure of the Patriot forces. We talked about him in the last episode about Beckhamville. And Colonel Bratton, and detain them. So he set about to do just that. Well, he was camped near Fishing Creek, came up north to find McClure, and McClure wasn't home. So that made Huck really mad, and he terrorized McClure's wife. This guy's pulling out right in front of me. Ransacked the house, arrested McClure's brother-in-law and some neighbors, and said they were going to be hung the next morning. And then the traveled further north, about 10 miles further north, to try to track down Colonel Bratton. We gotta adjust these rear shocks. They're bottoming out. I thought I put air in them before I left, but maybe not enough. So this is Saluda Road. There's a rumor that if you stay on that road too long, you'll freeze up, turn to stone. You'll become solidified. There's a mad rush to the Dollar General today. So, Aaron Burr Road. I saw this on the map, and I was like, what the heck does Aaron Burr have to do with anything in Chester County, South Carolina? So I looked it up. Well, it turns out, you know, Aaron Burr's the one who shot Alexander Hamilton in a duel in 1804. Well, he was arrested in Louisiana in 1807 for treason. And they were transporting him to Richmond to stand trial. And they transported him right through Chester and Chester County. And he stayed overnight at an inn along this road. And he made a speech pleading with the local citizens to free him, which they wanted no part of. And that's why he was here in 1807 on his way to Richmond. He was found not guilty, by the way, but his career went to hell after the duel. So you learn something new every day. Gonna turn left up here. Skydiving. We're near the airport. Chester County actually has an airport. I don't know if we can see the cotton fields. Now, I always thought that cotton grew better down by Florence and in the low country of South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama. Apparently they grew cotton here, but the kind of cotton they grew wasn't as good. It was labor intensive. It was high, stringy. Then when Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin, it made it easier to separate the seeds, and then it became profitable to grow up until the Civil War. And I think the entrance is coming up off of Percival Road. So There it is. So this is Historic Brattonsville. They have all different kinds of buildings from different eras. Oh great, gravel. Just what I wanted. Well, here we are at Historic Brattonsville. And they have buildings from all different eras. This one across the street is called the Homestead House, and it was built around 1820, so that it wasn't here during the Revolution. And then there's another brick and wood house right down the road. It's pretty cool. And I'm going to walk down the battlefield trail and talk about the battle. So some neighbors of the Brattons warned Bratton's wife Martha that he was coming, and she quickly dispatched a note with her slave, whose name was Watt, W-A-T-T, to go find her husband and give it to him, and let him know that that the British were coming to arrest him. Well, before Captain Huck could arrive, some Tory militia, Tory British Loyalists basically, and New York Loyalist troops came to question Martha. When she wouldn't talk, they threatened her life with a blade that was hanging on the door. And when Huck arrived, she continued to deny any knowledge of her husband's location.
I would rather see him bloodied and dead than join the likes of you.
Mrs. Bratton, it is your duty.
Huck forced her to make dinner, and the officers locked her in the attic. Huck and his men decided to stay the night in the Williamson plantation. The Battle of Huck's defeat is also called the Battle of Williamson's plantation. It was July 12th, 1780. Here it says the combatants were backcountry militiamen, British provincials, New York volunteers, and African Americans, both free and enslaved, served in both armies. These displays are nicely cleaned and full of color. Her husband was 20 miles away at General Sumter's camp, which we talked about before. And there's varying accounts of how many British came. Huck had 120 people with him, 40 British cavalry, 20 New York volunteers, and 60 Loyalist militia. After the British stayed here overnight, meanwhile, the slave Watt found Colonel Bratton on July 12th, and he set out with 140 men to attack the British. And this kind of shows how the Patriots defeated Huck. They kind of surrounded him from either side of the Williamson's plantation. And one group would attack from the west, while the other would attack from the east. This shows Captain Huck being shot through the head. And they attacked from both sides. They used the fences as cover and support for the muskets. Huck heard the gunshots, mounted his horse, and charged out, waving his saber, and was shot right through the head and died. With his death, support and morale grew for the Patriot cause. So I think that's the end of the trail, to quote Roy Rogers. And I'll head back up top. This was a resounding victory for the Patriot cause. The Patriots lost 1 man killed in action, and the British and Loyalists suffered 35 killed, 50 wounded, and 29 captured. One was later hanged, and the guys that Huck captured and said they would be hung did not get hung, and they were freed the next day. This is not the Williamson Plantation. This is the Brattonsville Academy, so schoolhouse. And here you can see all the fences, all the replicas of the fences. And I'm walking up towards the actual historical marker. This is on Brattonsville Road. It's near McConnells, South Carolina. Initially, they purchased 200 acres on the South Fork of Fishing Creek and built a single pen log house here at the junction of several important colonial roads. And he was a bigwig in the civil community later, too. And here's not the gravestone, but a replica of what's in the slave cemetery across the way for Watt, who died 1837. He served his master, Colonel Bratton, faithfully, and this was erected later. This is just a memorial. And see this hook hanging right here? That's what they threatened Martha Robertson Bratton with, and didn't kill her. Good for her. She wouldn't give up the information. So there's good news and bad news. The battlefield was well worth visiting, but I failed to dial in my directions to home. I also didn't check the rear shock damping. Anyway, I should have dialed those directions in, because now I'm in the boonies and I don't have a internet connection. So I'm kind of just going back the way I came, if I can remember it. At least it's a pleasant day for a ride.